Today I'll be reviewing the February 2015 comic Bento box. Theme for the month is Feminine Mystique. Let's go ahead and dive right into the first volume. It is Ms. Marvel, Volume 1, No Normal, by G. Willow Wilson and Adrienne Alphona. This is 120 pages, cover price $15.99. Would be a little over $15 at individual issue price based upon those cover prices. 8 pages of it, though, is from the all-new Marvel Now .1. I didn't think that was really, 8 pages wasn't worth, really going above what would have been individual issue pricing. Rating on it is T+. I didn't see anything in there that I thought really was anything more than, I guess, a general, kind of audience comic book thing. Other than, for kids' books. So there was, a little bit of, gunplay involved. But nothing that was really over the top in terms of content for that regard. Overall, the story was pretty good. It was contained within the volume for the most part. Introduction of the character. There weren't a lot of ties outside of this in terms of what else is going on in the Marvel Universe, so you don't have to read a whole lot of other things in order to get into this particular book. So for that, I really liked it. The story revolves around 15-year-old Kamala Khan, an Arabic teenager in Jersey City, gains these powers through the Terrigen Mist bomb that went off, and that's how they kind of sparked a whole lot of new books at the time. The story really wasn't to my tastes particularly, but it was well written. Art was a little bit anime influenced, so it wasn't, art style wasn't something I was really into, but overall it was consistent, so there wasn't a lot of, sloppiness to, places throughout there. For me, I'm going to give it a 5.0, but if this is something that you're into, consider that qualified 7. Now, for this volume, I would skip it if you're looking at getting it. Skip this, skip Volume 2, and get the oversized hardcover that's coming out, because between $32 for those 2 paperbacks or $35 for the hardcover, it's definitely worth an oversized hardcover for $3 more. It looks much better on a bookshelf. It's going to hold up under multiple reads a lot better than what the paperbacks will. And you get more story in one single volume. So that's the review for that one. Like I said, I would give it a 5, but if it sounds like something that you're interested in, definitely consider that a 7, because there's definitely some play with the quality in the story that I think that it has some legs ahead of it. So, moving on to the second book in the set is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Dust Waltz. This was not rated. This actually was a 1998 graphic novel. It was an original graphic novel, so it doesn't cover any particular issues. This was the original publication. $9.99, and it's 80 pages. Story by Dan Brereton, pencils by Hector Gomez, and inks by Sandu Flora. Story-wise, it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The only reason to buy this is if you're a big Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. Because I didn't dig the story. The dialogue was very choppy and corny. The art was very much a Jim Lee or Rob Liefeld clone from the era. It just didn't strike me as being an entertaining read whatsoever. So I'm going to give it a 3.0. The only reason to buy this is if you're a big Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. Otherwise, skip it entirely. There's really not much else to be worth mentioning in that. So we're going to move on to Volume 3 out of the set. Is Miss Fury, Volume 1. Anger is an Energy, by Rob Williams. Art by Jack Herbert in the first 5 issues of the series. Marcio Abreu in issue 6. I was a little disappointed to see just one issue out of it done by a different person. That kind of broke up the flow of the story a little bit. Particularly in the early part, the synopsis that Williams has in it is that the character is going back and forth between time periods and should have a different artist between 1940 and the 2013. That didn't happen, so it was a little bit weird to see, if you brought somebody in to just do that one. I think it would have been better if you actually had the 2 different artists doing the 2 different time periods. You'd have been able to keep up with the schedule overall throughout the course of this 6-issue run. Rating on this was T+, which I didn't think was an appropriate rating for it. The F-bomb was dropped in issue 1, and then all the dialogue that would be cursing thereafter was redacted. So with reprinted material like this, I thought it would really have made more sense to go ahead and redact that, or not redact it at all, and just go for it. Also, there was a little bit of nudity in there, which I thought was, should have given this an M rating. So reprint 6 issues, 144 pages. Cover price is $19.99 on the volume. The individual issues would have run $24, so this was in fact a little bit better deal versus buying the individual issues. I liked it. It was a fairly decent story. I would give it a 7.0, but I'm actually going to dock this one 2 points and only give it a 5 because they didn't credit Tarpe Mills for the character. So I really like that the Comic Bento guys chose this book for the theme. Tarpe Mills created Miss Fury in the 40s. It was the first costumed female action star of the time, written and drawn by a woman, so this fit the theme very well. But I just thought that to not credit the character was bad on Dynamite's part. This couldn't be considered work for hire. She died 17 years before Dynamite even came to existence. I really felt like that was an egregious oversight, whether it was intentional or not. I'm going to dock him 2 points on that, so only giving it an actual 5.0. And moving on to the last volume for the month is Shudder from Image Comics, Volume 1, Wanderlost, by Joe Keating and Leila Del Duca. This was kind of an Indiana Jones of the weird. She, as a child, went on these exploring adventures with her dad, quit doing it after he died. She inhabits a very strange world of talking, cat clocks and minotaurs and lion people, and there's just all kinds of really unique things that are in this. Rated M, mostly for language, a little bit of sexuality content, but not. It was more like just barely hinted at as opposed to overt. The page count is 136 pages. It's reprints issues 1 through 6, and at the cover price for those issues, that would be $24, but this is only $9.99 for the entire volume, so that was a heck of a good deal. Fantastic read overall. I did know Joe Keating many years ago from an online fan community. I've never met him in person. I haven't spoken to him in years because the community shut down, but I really loved this book, whether I had any connection with him or not. This was just a fantastic read. Lots of twists and turns and quirky, creative new characters being introduced. Del Duca's art was pretty tight. It wasn't something you'd see in a mainstream superhero book, but it was very consistent throughout. Character designs were very interesting. So I really think this was the winner of the month, hands down. I am buying Volume 2 when this comes out in Volume 2. Which should be in a couple more months because I believe the 12th issue is shipping in May. So sometime maybe June or July I would expect Volume 2 to come out. I'm going to give this a 9.0. Like I said, this was a fantastic read. I love this one. Couldn't put it down. And that wraps the month. So in a couple weeks when we get the next shipment, I'll be doing the unboxing video for that. Theme of that month is Cloak and Dagger, so I'm expecting some spy and espionage style books on that one. Looking forward to that. And then we'll do the reviews a couple weeks later than that. So if you like the video, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks.